What's going on, Israel? Commander General Yohanna here, man. Had to get it in with you again. A lot is going down. A whole lot is going down in the earth. They ain't got but a second, man. If they don't get this kingdom together, they gonna lose every bit of this kingdom if they don't pull this thing together quickly. It's looking real bad out there for them. You know what I'm saying? They got to get this together. So let's get it on. Let's get it in. Let's check it out. First of all, you know, we had a historical crash of the oil. It's amazing because the oil, which has been running everything, is now going down the toilet. They said that the oil dropped to -40. Dang, minus $40 a barrel. Okay, is where the oil has fallen from. I want you to hear a little bit of these reports that they came out with. It's crazy, man.
The last time we had an oil crash 4 years ago, the bottom was 26 bucks a barrel for WTI. We are not far from that point today. That lasted literally a matter of days. Oil stayed below 40, and we are well below 40 now, for roughly 100 days.
So now a month ago, they was down to $36.25 a barrel. That was a month ago. 1 month. They was down to $36.25 a barrel. They said the last time they had a crash, the oil went down to $26 a barrel. So they $10 away from a crash. But check this out.
Saudi Arabia needs oil around 80 bucks a barrel to balance its fiscal requirements. 30, not even close. The Saudi economy will collapse if this lasts for a long time. The other difference.
He said the Saudis need it at $80 a barrel. If not, their whole economy could collapse, he said, at $80 a barrel. Well, check it out. They went to -40 from that $36 a barrel. They went all the way to -40, messing around at that thing. Check it out.
Price of a barrel of West Texas Intermediate, which is the benchmark for U.S. oil, today traded as low as -$40 a barrel.
-$40 a barrel, man. That means they went to zero and then kept going all the way to -40 a barrel, man. Where they damn near got to give you the oil because nobody's buying it, because the earth is shut down because of the virus. That's what they gassed them up. Like the guy that just right before that said, hey, you know, it's already at $36 a barrel. I don't think it's going to last that long. It's going to bounce back and go the other way, yada, yada, yada. But meanwhile, turn around, it went down to -40 from him. Now, this cat is saying that this is a crash. He said it's actually a full out collapse. They done collapsed the economy, man. The petrodollar hit -40. Right now, they trying to keep everything calm. That's why Donald Trump is trying to say everything is fine, everything is cool, we doing great, we this, we that. The Lord spit in his face and destroyed everything under his watch. Their economy right now is in the barrels. You hear me? I mean, in the ground. You hear me? From what has happened. And all of this, man, all of this, brothers and sisters, is the Most High, man. Every bit of this right here is the Lord stepping into the arena, putting the world on notice that he's controlling everything. Understand this. Your preacher is not going to tell you this because your preacher is part of the empire. But what you don't know is that the Bible prophecy is coming to pass and the empire is falling. Check this out. I'm going to Jeremiah, right? I'm going 2 scriptures in Jeremiah, and then I want to get into the whole immigration thing that he came up with, because that in itself was insane. The immigration move was insane too. On top of that, he's shutting the country down. So on top of the oil crashing at -$40 a barrel, he cutting off everybody from coming into the country, which he has to do because of the coronavirus. But what you should see is, now remember now, he's shutting down every immigration because of the coronavirus. Oil is down -$40 a barrel. But what is they concerned? Getting this money. Why is getting this money they concerned? Because without it, their whole entire empire falls. If they don't get their slaves back in them slave fields and get that money pumping, then they could lose their entire empire. And let me tell you something, man. Something that the Pharaoh in Egypt should have learned. If he hadn't learned earlier, he learned it later. And that is the Most High can always step in and move on your kingdom. And I ain't celebrating the fact that people lost their lives or anything like that with the coronavirus. But what I will say to you is this, that you got to understand that this is happening because the Lord is coming for you. This is happening because you about to be delivered out of captivity that you don't even realize you in. We didn't realize we was in captivity in Egypt. We didn't realize that. We was like, we want to go back to the flesh pots. But you in captivity, man. You don't know it though. You think because you make 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, you might be a millionaire. You think you and your people are not in captivity when you are in captivity, man. When you are in captivity. You want to know, you want to understand the calculations? Calculate this. 13.1 million barrels of oil times $80 a barrel. And that'll just tell you the amount of wealth that they pulling down from this oil and how this oil has run the earth. Nations around the world are falling apart. You think America's bad? Nations all over the earth are falling apart. Nations all over the earth are worried about their military. They ain't got reserves like that. They military, they can't gas up them tanks, them jets. They can't fly them bombs over. So all of the doors are opening up for other nations to go at each other. And I'm going to show it to you in here, man. And on top of that, America is doing something they have never done before. They have never totally locked the country down where nobody can get in or out. Where you can't come here. They never did that as severe as they did it now. This is serious business. You know what I mean? And if this is just the beginning. So could you imagine what's going to come later on by the hand of the Lord? They may never make it out of this thing complete. Let me read it. Jeremiah 49, and I'm starting at the 7th verse. Concerning Edom, check it out. This Edom, you know who that is. That's Esau, the so-called white man. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Teman are the wise men. The so-called Germans are the Teman, man. Whenever you see Teman in the scriptures, it's talking about the Germans. Because they're wise men. Them Nazis was wise as hell. You see all of the inventions they made. They came up with the rocket. They came up with the electromagnetic chips and all of that stuff they created. All this technology that you see them doing today, the Nazis were doing this in the 30s. You hear me? In the 30s. They were doing anti-gravity in the 30s. Before they even went to war, they was doing anti-gravity. Einstein and all of them so-called Jews was living over there in Germany with the wisdom of the Temanites. That's who they are. But the Lord is mocking them. He's saying, is there no more wisdom in Teman? Where's your wise men at? You can't stop me. You can't buck up against me. Where's your wise men at? That's what the Lord is saying. He's mocking them. Okay. Saith the Lord of hosts. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? They were the prudent ones. They ran the earth like they were the intellectuals, like they the geniuses, like they're the men of wisdom. And the Lord is saying, what's going on? Is there no more? Is the counsel of perished from the prudent? Don't y'all still get good counsel? Where's the wise men giving you the understanding on what to do? It's no longer around. It's no longer around. The earth is getting ready to get plunged. You hear me? The earth is getting ready to get plunged. If you are one of the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel, okay, you are about to find out how valuable you are. And you about to find out why this Bible has been around since the days of Adam. Why this book could not be gotten rid of. Why has this book been talking about these children of Israel for thousands and thousands of years and the God of these children of Israel? You are about to see that God now. He's now pulling his right hand out of his bosom and getting ready to go to war on this earth. And it is going to be catastrophic. And like he always said, he's not going to meet them like a man. He ain't walking up to them. There ain't going to be no gunfight with him. They going to have gunfights with each other. But he's coming to get his inheritance. The Lord is a terrible, terrible power. Here you go. Is their wisdom vanished? He's mocking them. You don't have no more wisdom. Has your wisdom vanished? 48, Jeremiah 49:48. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. Dedan is the southern part of what's known as Arabia, man. It was ruled by the Hamites, okay? It was ruled by the Hamites. The Queen of Sheba used to rule all that area. Okay. Now she owned Yemen, Saudi Arabia. All of that was ruled by Hamites. Okay. Hamites didn't just rule in Africa. Hamites ruled in other places as well. And so just like the Japhetics. So they ruled that southern part. But the Arabs, way back in turn of the century, took all that area over and set up the empire of Saudi Arabia, the House of Saud. And they set that up because, of course, they found that oil. And they found that oil, and it was an amazing cash cow for them. And they rolled with that oil and got their money and got rich and wealthy and powerful and got an amazing empire because of it, and teamed up with the U.S., teamed up with the so-called Jew, and got rich, and other empires tied with it. Well, here's what the Lord said. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, come up off of that program. You understand? Watch every arrogant leader that you see around the world, whether it be the United States or any other country. If you see a leader and he's boasting himself or being overly aggressive or being overly violent, you keep your eye on him, because the Most High is moving him into the Third World War. Like you're going to see a lot of aggressive leaders coming up because the Lord is stirring them up. You understand? To really bring hell down. That's why you got that aggressive cat in Saudi Arabia and you got Donald Trump in America. These are aggressive leaders, man. You understand? Leaders that will get it on out there. And because of it, the Most High is using them to create havoc on this earth. It's going to be horrible. Flee ye, turn back. Jeremiah 49:8. Dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. Dedan, again, is southern part of Arabia. Used to be run by the Hamites, now run by the Arabs. That's why people get lost, though. You need prophets of the Lord to decipher these prophecies, man. That's why the Israelite school of UPK is here. Now I understand why the Lord woke up all these thousands of brothers in this truth, so that these brothers could be ready for this time we living in right now. Right now, you about to see the nation of Israel do a transformation before your eyes. And it's going to be a nation that the Lord is going to be able to fill with all his people that he wants up out of here. And he's going to make sure it's under great leadership, wisdom and knowledge, and the scriptures is going to be the top of the list. And it's going to be run right. OK, and those of you that have been out there doing a lot of evil, you preachers, you imams, you different religious leaders, you better beware, because now the Most High is in the battle and he takes out anybody he don't like. So you better be rest assured you coming up off that evil and coming into righteousness and repenting immediately, because the Lord is on the ground handling his business. OK, so he says this, middle of 48th verse, Jeremiah 49:8. OK, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him. He telling the Arabs, get the hell back, because I'm getting ready to move on these so-called Esau, these Edomites. The middle of 8th verse, the time that I will visit them, meaning in that time that I'm visiting them, I'm gonna come bring some damage on them. I'm gonna bring calamity on them. Well, guess what? You are in that time right now. You in that time where he's visiting them, and now calamities are getting ready to come down on this man, and it's going to be rough. And it's rough because this is the change. You read that scripture and heard that scripture many times where the Lord said, your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. In a split second, the Lord flipped the whole earth around, man. 1 minute, the slaves were all serving the slave masters. The empires was getting rich. The wealthy was piling up their cash. He flipped the script, and now they got to pour out their funds to the slaves. They got to give to the slaves. They got to sacrifice their country now. Now they struggling and in hell and in pain and in poverty and upset. Now they going in their coffers to try to survive and to bring their empire back. But you don't know what the Most High might do next. That's why you got to repent, come back to the truth, wake up, come into the ISUPK, learn, get the scriptures, get the knowledge, change your life quickly. Stop listening to these dumb preachers, man. They think that the God's just here to bless you in your life now. The Lord is coming to this earth with a rough ass sword. You're going to see it in what I'm saying. This is the 49th verse, Jeremiah 49:9. We're going all the way to 10. It says this, if grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? Meaning this, like if somebody came and they were gathering grapes, you had a grape vineyard on your land, and they had gathered some grapes. Don't nobody go in no grape vineyard and take every last grape. Grapes fall off the vine. You know, when you reach in a bucket or a bowl full of grapes and you go to pull the grapes out, some of the grapes fall back into the bucket because they come off the vine so easily. So the same thing when a man go in the field. When you go in the field to go pull grapes, tons of grapes that are loosely on the vine fall down and hit the ground. If you tried to go pick up every grape, you wouldn't be able to get all the grapes up. So you have to leave those and just take the ones that you can pull in bushels off of the vine. So the Lord is saying, man, if a grape gatherer came to you, would he have at least left some grapes? Would he have wiped you out clean? Here's what the Most High said. If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough, meaning they would take until they had enough. But these nations didn't do that, man. They took and took and took and took and took. This man could have been said, you know what, y'all black people, I'm going to give y'all some land. I'm going to set y'all up. We had y'all as slaves. We built our empire now. We're going to stop pouring drugs in your neighborhood. We're going to stop scamming you for your houses. We're going to stop working you in menial jobs. We're going to get you all the things you need. We're going to stop giving you bad food. We're going to stop stunting your education by cutting off the funds for your education. We're going to stop murdering you in the streets. We're going to stop mass incarcerating you many times on false charges. We're going to stop killing your babies in the abortion clinics and all that and setting it up and financing it by the government. They could have did this a long time ago, man. They could have been like a grape gatherer. They said, look, we built the biggest, most powerful empire in the world. America and other European countries as powerful as hell. Why don't we just let the slaves go ahead now? We got all that we got. Let's move on, but not them. You understand? They a grape gatherer out there, got to get every single grape. They got to rob everybody, man. And that's what has happened. And as a result of it, you have called the Most High out. You have called the Most High into the street. And now the Most High is visiting you, because otherwise you would steal all the grapes, man. 10th verse, Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. You hear that? That's like you strip somebody down. That's what the Lord have done to them. He stripped them down. They bare right now. They suffering right now. You seeing them now in a panic right now because their empire is bare right now. Okay. I have uncovered his secret places. Like you strip a woman down and you looking at her private parts, you seeing her secret places, man. And if that's not your woman, you ain't supposed to be doing that. Well, the Most High is coming, ripped off the dress off of this empire, man, and saying, I see in your secret places, meaning he see the evil things that you do. I'm just using a woman slightly as a metaphor, but you get my point. He's seeing them places, man. He see the secret evil you've been doing. He see what you're doing in the abortion clinic. Lord knows. Let me tell you something. Only the Most High knows what they've been planning for us. They could be planning to exterminate us after they got rid of the Latino tribe. Why? This is what I never understood. Why, if you so upset with immigration, why would you incarcerate thousands and thousands of family members, man? Why would you do that? Why would you incarcerate children? When you supposed to be like, well, we don't want no immigration. We building a wall. Why you ain't putting them out the country? Instead, you spending billions of dollars to put them in cages with kids and everything. Something is amiss, man. Something is amiss. And we don't know what that is, but the Lord knew. The Lord knew. And he checked them on it, man. He checked them on it. And they had to let them all out. They letting them out. They still letting them out. They pouring out of them prisons like crazy and heading back across the border, man. Because Lord knows what they had in mind. So the Lord said, man, look, you know what I'm saying? He's seeing they secret places. And remember, they recently announced that they was going to build a space force up in space. And man, what happens if they take you off planet? What if they take you off planet? What if they got a base up there in the moon like they be talking about on the conspiracy theories? I don't know. They got that big old space station up there and all, who knows what else they got up there that they ain't telling you about. And what if they take these people off planet? Who the hell knows what they capable of? but the Most High knows. The Lord knows. Even though you might not know, the Most High does know. And brother, the Most High is visiting them, man. The Most High has stepped to their game. And he stepped to their game hard. You hear me? So middle of 10. Okay. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. The Lord is rough. They seed is spoiled. They thought they was going to go on and build space. You see them on them science channels. We going to space. We gonna colonize Mars. They got their superstars like that Musk cat, the cat that got the Tesla cars, and building rocket ships up into space and all that stuff that they doing. You understand? Expecting to go into other planets and what do they call it? Terraforming other planets and setting up the other planets and all that. The Lord said, man, that his seed is spoiled, man. Like you get seeds to go plant some vegetables, and them seeds are supposed to bring them vegetables back. But if the seeds are bad, you won't get no more vegetables. You done. That's what the Most High is saying he gonna do with them, man. And his brethren and his neighbors. That's talking about the other empires, the other European empires, and other nations too. All his neighbors, man. And he is not. The Lord is rough, man. That's like Jake's slang. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Jake say, man, you done. You done. You know what I mean? When Jake say you done, meaning you still standing there, but he's saying you done. Like he said, I'm talking to a dead man. You still there, actually standing there, but he trying to tell you your future is that you done. Well, that's the Most High. He said, and he is not. The Most High coming like a Jake to him. And he is not. He was here, but he's not here. Because really, I'm about to take him out. And brother, that's what's getting ready to go down in this earth. And it's going to be colossal. And here's the thing to remember. Man, if you one of the 12 lost tribes, you got to thank the Most High. You got to say to yourself, the Lord is actually going to end the empires of this world that otherwise would have always kept us in captivity. We would have just withered away over time. You see all the illnesses we got, the coronavirus killing us 4 times more than them. Why? Because we ill, we stressed, we eating bad food, we overweight, we destroyed. We don't have no families. Families all broken up, every father out the house. That was them doing it, blaming you. Like last Monday, we had that tape where the Edomite said, no father in the house. He was talking about all the things to make a nigga, as he put it. And so as he going to make all these things, one of the things he put in there, he said was no father in the house. And because they destroyed the fathers being in the house, you poured all that heroin in the ghetto. Black people didn't know what drugs was, man. They didn't have no clue what drugs was. You went over to Vietnam, man, and got them drugs over there and saw people rebelling over here in the United States against the empire. They was protesting against the dope. Martin Luther King and them fools was protesting not against the dope. They was protesting against the war. Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement, part of it was them speaking against the war. You got in the middle of Esau's business with some Orientals over there in the Middle East. He was over there robbing them and bombing their country into the Stone Age, dropping napalm over there and burning up the damn woods. And you over here in America, just like all these Jakes in the world do, the first thing he do is get up and open his big mouth against Esau and his campaign over there in the Oriental world. That ain't have nothing to do with you. If he want to go bomb Korea or Vietnam or whatever the hell he want to do, that's his business. Why are you in the middle of it, running your mouth, trying to align yourself with them when they ain't even your people and you supposed to be speaking about your people? Well, he said, I'm going to fix you. No problem. Y'all want to speak against me fighting over there in that war? No problem. And before you know it, LSD, which they designed and came up with, was spread all over the streets. Next thing you know, they had weed out with PCP, which they created. Next thing you know, heroin was out, which they was bringing in from the very countries they was bombing. They was bombing one part of Vietnam, while the other half, the side that aligned themselves with them, was letting them bring all manner of dope into the United States. to finance the war. Where you think that dope was at? You think that was a new idea, what they did with crack in the 80s? They did it 20 years before that in the 60s. And your stupid black leaders had their mouth open discussing it and getting in the middle of it. And just like anybody, if you line yourself with their enemy, trying to save some other nation instead of your own, then you're going to end up in the fight with them. I'm not fighting Esau for no Southeast Asians. They on their own. They want to beef with Esau, they better fight it out with him. That ain't got nothing to do with me and my people. I ain't losing a night's sleep over it. But that's what Martin Luther King and them civil rights idiots did. Talk about it's the same thing. You always, the 12 tribes, that's how you can always identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Without a doubt, without the prophets of the Lord, the 12 tribes of Israel always goes to help another nation instead of their own. Look around you. Christians, Muslims, fake Israelites, all of them do it. They all go trying to save another nation instead of obeying the Most High and following his laws, statutes, and commandments. He only coming for the 12 tribes of Israel. Nobody else. Nobody else is making it into this kingdom, man. But they gonna still benefit because at least they, instead of having Esau as their ruler, they're gonna have Christ ruling over them, which is gonna be a way better ruler than Esau could have ever been. So they're going to be thankful for Yahushua. Hell, they can't rule their damn self. They bombing each other and killing each other they damn self. What do you think he going to do when he steps in? So it's ridiculous, man. It's utterly ridiculous what they've been saying and what they've been doing and what they've been thinking, man. So hang in there, man. It's getting ready to get more. It's getting ready to get vicious, okay? Jeremiah 25:27. Here's what the Lord said. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall, man. You understand? Drink and be drunken and throw up and pass out and fall. And when that drinking he's talking about drink up all the lust and the evil that you want to drink up, all the conquering and taking over. Drink it all up. Drink so much of it that you're going to vomit on it. And that's what they did. They building world economies, man. And here come the coronavirus, shutting down the whole world economy. Shut it down, the coronavirus. So that's what happens. You understand? You drink so much that you spewed it out. And now this is the beginning of the fall of all the empires of the world, which you're going to see in this here. And rise no more. Okay, and rise no more. There'll never be after this. Christ will rule. Christ's disciples will rule. The 12 tribes will be over them, and the whole nation of Israel will rule the world under the Most High power. No longer will nations rule themselves without the Lord's authority over them. The whole earth is going to be in perfect order under the Most High. That's the kingdom of heaven. Everybody praying, talking about they looking for the kingdom of heaven. They looking for God. I got bad news for you. You gonna get God, but it ain't gonna be the way you think you getting God. That's what you don't understand. Let's get it in. Okay, and rise no more. Middle of the 27th verse, Jeremiah 25:27. Because of the sword which I will send among you. He gonna send a sword. That coronavirus, that's a sword, man. That coronavirus has been a sword sent among these nations. 28th verse, Jeremiah 25:28. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. Meaning if they think to themselves, or they try to come out and say, look, we ain't gonna fall, the economy gonna be fine, we gonna make it, we gonna be back. That's temporary. Something else will come later from the Lord, and it'll bring it down again. And enough of them blows, and the whole empire will come down. And it's the Lord's will. It's his will to do all these things. And it's a horrible, horrible day you getting ready to get. You know what I mean? He said to let them know you shall certainly drink it. Like the prophets have spoken on this here. And it's going to happen. Okay. 29th verse, Jeremiah 25:29. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city, which is called by my name. The Lord said he's bringing evil on the city. And it's called by his name. Okay, meaning what? meaning in the land of Israel, he's about to stir it up. Stir it up. This no oil is a horrible thing. This shutdown thing is a horrible thing for these nations, man. It's a horrible thing for these nations. It is a devastating thing for these nations. And as a result, it's going to be evil in the city. And should ye be utterly unpunished, meaning should the land of Israel not be punished, it will be punished. It is the land of the Lord. It's the land called by his name. He named it. The Most High Power named that land. Ain't nobody supposed to be on that land but the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That's holy land. Okay. Middle of 29th verse, Jeremiah 25 and 29. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth. Let me tell you something. That coronavirus is a sword on the entire earth. The world, you know, for Saudi Arabia to go from $80 a barrel to minus 40 a barrel. They say ships are sitting in the ocean filled with oil, just parked out there. Ain't nobody even on the ship because they parked the ship out there because that's how much oil they was pumping out. And they had to put that oil somewhere, even though they couldn't sell it, they had to put it somewhere. Where did they go put it? They took that oil and they put them on them barges and on them tanker ships. And they just sitting in there. They said that the ocean down there is like a parking lot full of ships, full of big oil tankers just sitting in the water, waiting for the economy to come back. They better hope it does. They better hope hard that it does. 30th verse, Jeremiah 25 and 30. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high. I mentioned this the other day. The Lord said he shall roar from on high. He roaring, man. It's called coronavirus. He's roaring from on high. He's screaming like a lion. When a lion see you and he feel like you are attacking or you infringing on his property, he'll roar on you. To let you know I'm mad, man. Don't you come up in here messing with me. I'm angry. I'm angry at what you doing. And that's what the Lord is saying. Okay. And utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout. He gonna destroy that land in the Middle East, man. He going to destroy it. He's going to destroy them empires. He's going to destroy it all. He's going to destroy the state of Israel. He's going to restructure this earth under the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. And all the nations going to fall subject in the order that he decides they be in. The days of empires other than Christ's are coming to an end. His empire alone shall rule. That's what Daniel was trying to say, that he shall crush the statue. He shall crush the other nations, man. He shall stamp out those nations. That's what he's going to do. You're going to see angels move like you've never seen before. Let's go on a little bit more. Okay. 30th verse. Jeremiah 25:30. Therefore prophesy ye against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes. You tread the grapes, and the grapes go into a wine press back in the day. And then you step on the wine press. And as you step on it, you crushing the grapes, and all the juice from the grapes go pouring out. That's how they used to do grapes back then. And all the juice would run out. Well, the Lord said it's going to be the same, okay, when he shout and tread the grapes, meaning he's going to kill on this earth in massive numbers. The same way you crush grapes by the tens of thousands when you making wine. You in there, shoom, 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 and all the grape juice is running out. That's what the Lord is getting ready to do in this earth. He's going to be killing it. He's going to spill so much blood, okay, to restructure this earth. See, the God you've been thinking that's in the Bible is not the God that's in the Bible. That God that you say is an all-loving God, that's Satan. Because not only is he not an all-loving God, but the God that you worship is a lying God. He's Satan telling you he's an all-loving God. That's the same thing he did to Eve. He told Eve, man, you're going to be like a God. You're going to be great. You're going to be powerful. You're going to be full of wisdom. He didn't tell her that he was going to use her and destroy her seed and wipe out her. And he didn't tell her that. He lied to her and told her how great she was going to be. And she got fooled by it. So if you worshiping an all loving God, then you don't understand judgment and righteousness. And why is there a book open for judgment in Revelation? Because the God that we're talking about that's in the Bible is not the God in your church. He's not that God. He don't love everybody, man. He brings punishment and correction. He's a judge, not your homie, not your lover, not your man. He's none of those things, man. And he's coming to shake this earth, man, in a rough way. 30th verse, middle of 30. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. He gonna come against all the inhabitants of the earth. Let me tell you something. This 30th verse is directly a coronavirus precept. Jeremiah 20, you want to understand the coronavirus? Read Jeremiah 25, 30th verse. That is the coronavirus. He said he's going to do this to all the earth. And right now, coronavirus is hitting everybody all over the earth. They came out and said they believe that somebody in the Amazon jungle got the coronavirus. How the hell they got that is beyond me. They said somebody in the Amazon got that coronavirus. 31st verse, Jeremiah 25 and 31. Here's what the Lord said. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. Man, the Lord is coming rough too. He will plead with all flesh. That's how the Lord pleads. It ain't like you think. He ain't coming to beg. He ain't coming to beg like that white Jesus that they show you all the time. Come, I love you, join. That's not how he's coming. This God that's in the Bible, which is not a God that many people know. This God that's in this Bible right here, that everybody claim they know, this is a different type of cat, man. He's not the guy you think, man. Okay? He's not that guy. He said, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. That's how he pleads. How he pleads? He sends the coronavirus to make you fear and understand and know that he is unhappy with you. That he doesn't like the way you run the earth. That he does not agree with the things that you are doing on this planet. And he comes to plead with you. Okay? He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. 32nd verse, Jeremiah 25, 32. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. This right here, this 32nd verse, this is a direct precept for the coronavirus. Thus saith the Lord, 32nd verse, Jeremiah 25, 32, direct precept of the coronavirus. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. Meaning that's what's happening. One nation get it. That's why Donald Trump is shutting down the immigration. Because one nation get it, it's spread among them. They fly to another nation, it's spread among them. It get on the plane, and when the plane goes somewhere else, it's spread on them. That's what's happening in the earth. Middle of 32, Jeremiah 25, 32. And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. That's heavy. That's heavy. After this, gonna be all kinds of madness break forth. Whirlwinds gonna bring forth in the earth. And who knows, and this is like a whirlwind in this, that the coronavirus is a respiratory disease, which means it come from droplets flying through the air. As them droplets fly through the air, they come and they kill people the same way a tornado kills people. This is the precept for coronavirus. It's like a tornado that kills people, man. Jeremiah 25, 33. I hate to be the bringer of fire and brimstone, but this is the real deal. This is what's really going on in the earth. When you go back and you read the Bible, and you read when the Lord took the children of Israel out into the wilderness, and they got arrogant and said, Moses, we don't want to talk to you. We want to talk to the Lord directly. Moses told them to fast 3 days and go up to the base of the mountain, but don't go up the mountain. They went up to the base of that mountain, and whatever came down on that mountain, and the Bible describes it, whatever came down in that on their head was so horrible and so terrible they never wanted to talk to the Lord again. That's the power that's in this Bible. That's Yahweh in this Bible. It is not the God you've been learning about in church. That God you've been learning about in church is a liar. He's a charlatan. He's a hustler. He's going to tell you everything is beautiful no matter what you do. He's going to tell you God's law is done away with. You can eat whatever you want to do. He's going to tell you all those things is right. He's going to tell you it's all right to be homosexual, lesbian, whatever. None of it is against God according to him. According to them, none of it is against God. You all right. God love you no matter what. That is not the God that's in this Bible. The God in this Bible said he's going to send a whirlwind. And it's going to go from nation to nation. Like he ain't going to just tap individuals. He going to bring nations down behind this, man. That's the God that's in this Bible. Let me read some more. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even on to the other end of the earth. That's the coronavirus, man. And other plagues that's coming after the coronavirus. They shall not be lamented. This is deep. They meaning there ain't going to be no funeral. Funerals for you to lament, for you to be saddened. There's no funerals. They cut the funerals off because now they find out you can get the coronavirus from the bodies. Middle of 33rd verse, Jeremiah 25:33. Neither gathered nor buried. That's heavy. That's heavy. Nor buried. They shall be dung onto the ground, man. That's a hell of a curse the Lord brought down with that coronavirus. And the earth is acting as though it was not the Most High. It's the Lord bringing this, man. And here's the thing. You hearing it from us. You're not hearing that from your preacher, which should tell you something, man. Should tell you that he's lying to you. Should tell you he's a charlatan. Should tell you he's running a game on you, man. And you have to wake up and you have to see it, man. You have to see what is happening in your world. Let me take a second more. I know we're a little over the time, but that's cool. Let me take a little more. Listen to what Donald Trump said, and then I'm gonna show you something in the Apocrypha about the future, man. Check out Donald.
In order to protect our great American workers, I've just signed an executive order temporarily suspending immigration into the United States.
Did you hear him? From the attack, in light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens. They can't take no more people because now they got to keep all. The translation of that is not that he loving and trying to hold on and make sure you have a job. He trying to make sure he can get every slave back to work because everybody that got a visa is trying to come here to survive because they already know empires around this world are going to fall behind this coronavirus. There are some countries that will not make it back, and other countries, being the beasts that they are, will be invading those countries, which you're going to see in a minute, and destroying those countries. That's what this is spinning into. And if they don't get that oil back out here and get these vehicles moving and get this economy running, they are in a horrible, horrible tragedy. And it's up to the Lord. All right. It's up to the Most High when he allows this thing to come back. But so far, they in bad shape, man. They in bad shape so far. Here's what they said. Like that, they're making use of it. But his plan was to get rid of the Latinos. Now he got to shut all of them down. Now you can't bring the Europeans over here. You can't bring the Orientals over here. He was going to let all of them come. Remember, he said he wanted to stop the shithole countries. And he wanted to stop the Latinos. He ain't say about those other people. They was still coming in free. ICE ain't picking them up. You ain't hearing no stories in the news about ICE picking up Chinese immigrants and East Indian immigrants, which the East Indians got millions of illegal aliens here. Millions of them. You ain't hearing anything about that. The Africans got millions. You know what I mean? Probably damn near 2/3 of every African in this country is probably got some bad immigration. You don't hear anything about it because they weren't interested in that. But now he's got to shut it down so that nobody can come up into the country, man. And that's the Most High bringing it, man. That's the Lord bringing it. Check this out. Let me get something for you in the Apocrypha, all right? Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra, 15th chapter and the 12th verse. We're gonna go a couple of verses, y'all. We're gonna go about 10 verses on this one, all right? You want to know all the steps that's gonna happen based on the coronavirus and what is coming in the near future? No problem. Sit back, relax. Here it go. 12th verse. Egypt shall mourn. Why is it saying Egypt shall mourn? Because this empire has operated exactly like ancient Egypt. And it is the duplicate of ancient. Everything that they did in ancient Egypt is done right here. Down to the gods and everything. Everything is the same. All of the buildings and temples that they got in Washington, all of those come from ancient Egypt, man. All their philosophy come from the Mother Mary, all that come from Egypt, man. The Virgin Mary, rather, all of that comes from Egypt. They have nothing to do with the Bible. They just made it seem like it was part of the Bible, but really it come from ancient Egypt. All right. And the foundation of it shall be smitten. Damn, the foundation shall be smitten. And that's what's happened now. Like the foundation got smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Now get around that for me, y'all. Find a way around that. The Lord brought the plague, man. The Lord brought the invisible enemy. 13th verse. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Let me tell you something. Be aware, because next the Lord might curse the food. They already shutting down some of the packing plants. Once again, they may recover from all this. But even if they do recover, another plague is coming right after this, because we in the wrap up. We in the wrap up. Now's the time you got to pray to the Lord. You got to pray to the Lord for yourself, your family, the 12 tribes, and you got to pray to the Lord, forgive your sins. You better ask the Most High to forgive your sins, because the Lord right now is coming through. He had a lot of mercy on us. He had plenty of mercy on us. You better hope his mercy continues to extend, because he pulling a lot of that mercy back and he bringing death into the earth. So hold on to your hat. Okay. 14th verse, 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, meaning destruction to the world and them that dwell in. 15th verse, 2nd Ezra 15:15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. That's what you in. I'm laying out the play by play. You want to know what's going to happen with the coronavirus? This is it. For the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Once again, if they let this economy go on too much longer, you're gonna see new wars breaking out. Watch. Right now, they're talking about the leader of North Korea might be ill and might pass away. He might have caught that coronavirus, and if he pass away, the door is open for somebody to go up in there and start another war. And it might happen. It could be China. It could be South Korea. It could be Japan. It could be somebody you never expected could decide to go up in there and mess with them because of something they was doing or something they don't like, or just thinking there's an opportunity right there. You're going to see more of that in the earth, because that's part of the Most High's plan. It's part of his plan to give it to the nations, man. Okay. 16th verse. For there shall be sedition among men. Man, it's going to be hatred among men. Like those that hated their enemies, they're going to let that hatred come up in them real strong. And invading one another. That's all getting ready to break out. The wars they was in before, they're going to go into them more. And let me tell you one of the other reasons they're going to do it. If they think their empire going to fall, they're going to try to take their enemies out first. All of this is leading to the Third World War, global thermonuclear war, the annihilation of millions of people, the reestablishment of the earth under Christ and the angels, the 12 tribes of Israel being restored and given the rulership and the kingdom of heaven, man. That's the program. And this is it. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Meaning they're going to stop listening to their leaders. They're going to overthrow many of their leaders. Let enough of this go on. You're going to see certain nations going to roll up and overthrow their leaders. And then they're going to decide to take a different course. That's what happened in Iran. Iran was wealthy and rich. Iran is one of the only countries, one of the few countries, if not the only country, that the United States gave a printing press to print U.S. currency. You ain't supposed to be printing U.S. currency outside of the United States. But they went and gave the Shah of Iran his own printing press. That's how much oil they was pulling out of the Middle East. They gave him their own printing press. And as they got that printing press and they was pressing money, lo and behold, they didn't realize the students went and took over the country. And instead installed the Ayatollah. And now they might get rid of him and do something else. They're not going to be listening to their leaders, man. The world is going to spin out of control. That is what's getting ready to happen. And it's happening because it's biblical prophecy. This ain't my words. I'm not creating it. This is the Lord's doing. He's creating it. He's bringing it. He's stirring it up. And you can rest assured, if you one of them 12 tribes, you're supposed to thank the Lord, your lucky star. And this is what you're supposed to know. This should comfort your fear. Know and understand this, that the fact that the coronavirus is here, the fact that the coronavirus is doing what it's doing in the earth should be total clarity for you that God is real and that everything that he said he's going to do, he's going to do. So even if you died, let's say, based on the coronavirus, there's nothing for you to worry about because you know now that the Lord is real. He's showing you he's real. So if you gone, you'll be back. Why? Because he said you'd come back. How do you know it's true? Because he said he'd bring this coronavirus and he brought that. So guess what? You in a good place. You're in a good place, even though you're going through the fire and the tragedy and family members might be getting this coronavirus and whatnot. You still in a good place. You in the bosom of the Lord. You still in the bosom of the Most High because he's coming for you and your people, man. And now you know it's real. Now you know that the empire was not who you should have been worshiping, not who you should have been looking up to, not who you should have been looking to for the answers in your life. They killing 350,000 of your babies and you looking into them like, God love everybody and they gonna all come together in a melting pot. What is wrong with you, man? Your preacher is a charlatan and a crook is what he is. And it's time for you to break from that. It's time for you to sit down in them scriptures, man, and break from that, man, and really get an understanding on what's going on in the earth, man. Let's get a little more. 17th verse, 2 Ezra 15:17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. If that ain't what Donald Trump just laid out, he just shut down immigration. So you trying to go in a city and you cannot because they at war, de facto war. That's why he called it an invisible enemy. He's saying I'm at war with this coronavirus, which means he's at war with the Lord because it's the Lord that brought the coronavirus. That's who he's really at war with. Okay, let's get some more. 2 Ezra 15:18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. They were proud. That's why they're going to open up this city. And they better hope the Lord don't surge that coronavirus. They open up this city out and the Lord could resurge the coronavirus and they're going to be in horror and hell. Okay. You know what I mean? Because of the actions of this place, man, the Lord had brought this heat on them. For because of their pride, because they were proud, never thought to themselves, man, we better let these people go. Never thought to themselves, look, man, they've been here 400 years. Instead of just looking at them as degenerates and evil, we need to look at the fact that we caused this. You know what I'm saying? Instead, the empire wanted to be exonerated from it. The empire, like, we tired of you blaming us. Stop blaming us. Stop blaming the white man for your problems. God is blaming them now. Since you didn't want to, and since you wanted to join him, and since you wanted to say, forget about slavery like Steve Harvey did, if you want to say, forget about slavery, guess what? God said, no problem. I'll take it up. I'll take up the cause of those people that are dead in the ground, that were lynched on trees, that were castrated, that were burned in fire, that were tarred and feathered. You know what it means to be tarred and feathered, man? Meaning they boil the tar, black tar like you put on a roof, and pour it on your body where it burned the skin off of you. And then take a bunch of feathers and throw the feathers on you, man. That's what it means to be tarred and feathered. Cruel, cruel things, cutting off our feet, our hands, putting big steel iron bars around our neck to keep us down as slaves. And then they never say to themselves, yo, It's time to cut them a break. Let them go on back. Darius did that. When Ezra and them went, and Nehemiah and them went to Darius, man, Darius said, you know what? We had y'all in slavery a long time. Go on back to your land, man, and build up your kingdom. No problem. Y'all have served us well. Go ahead and hook up your land. The king of Babylon did the same thing. They know the records. They know who's who in the earth. They know what has been done. They supposed to do the same damn thing. Instead, they said to hell with that. They were proud. They love having a beat down slave under them. They love having him in jail. They love killing him in the abortion clinic. They love shooting him every time they pull him over. They love it. They love him working and groveling on the ground. They love him being ignorant and can't talk because he got no education, man. They love it. They were proud, man. They was proud. That's why the Lord said he is not. You done. The empires of the world are done. The changing of the guard has come. It's here. It's in the midst. The vials are being poured out. Let's get some more. 2 Ezra 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Fear now. Fear, fear, fear. Houses is being destroyed. You broke up all blacks and Latinos and Native Indian houses. Now you got to be quarantined away from your own family. 2 Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's what I'm telling you. That's next coming. Next, one of the next things coming up on the road is going to be food shortages, man. All over the earth. Without fuel, without vehicles moving, you're going to have fuel shortages, which is going to be a major problem. Major problem. And they've hit economic downfalls that they've never hit before, even in the Great Depression. So they don't even know what to expect that's coming around the corner. They don't even have a clue on what is coming next. Let's get a little bit more. Okay, 20th verse, 2 Ezra 15 and 20. Behold, saith the Lord, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me. The Most High is terrible, brother. He said they're going to reverence me, man. Meaning you're going to go and say, Lord, forgive us. Thank you, Lord. You the best, Lord. Oh, my God, Lord, we will obey you. Don't destroy us. Don't kill us, Lord. That's what he's going to bring them to. He's going to bring them to their knees, man. He's going to bring every empire on this earth to its knees, man. Middle of 20th verse, 2 Ezra 15, 20, which are from the rising of the sun. Rising of the sun. Now, listen, that's in the scriptures. They adopted that term on their own. Yet it was in the scriptures thousands of years ago, from the rising of the sun, which tell you what? From the far east, China, Japan, Vietnam, Korea, all of them countries that's over there. He said from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus. Libanus is talking about Syria, okay? From Libanus, Syria is also, meaning I'm going to get the Middle East everywhere, south, north, east, all of it, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them, meaning they're going to go for revenge on every country that something has been done to them. They're getting ready to spill into a mess in the earth. Up there in them Eastern Bloc countries, those over there doing the ethnic cleansing, they getting ready to go back to the ethnic cleansing. And the United States with the coronavirus will not be able to police the whole world. So many of these countries are going to invade each other and totally jam up the earth. You spiraling already into the third world's war and you don't even know it. And you don't even know it. Let's get a little more. 2 Ezra 15, 21, last verse. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen. See what the Lord said? This is what he's about, man. And that's why every Hebrew, man, every Hebrew Israelite should be looking at the Lord like, wow, the Most High is powerful and worthy to be served, worthy to be praised, because all this he can really do to the earth simply because of what? The 20th verse? I'm sorry, 21st verse? Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, meaning they still oppressing his chosen to this day. so will I do also. All this destruction he gonna do for these 12 tribes. You don't understand what the love of the Most High. The love of the Most High is frightening. And if the nations had any good sense, they would be scared to death to do these 12 tribes any harm, because the Lord loves them. Middle of 21st verse, 2nd Ezra 15:21 in the middle. And recompense in their bosom, meaning same thing that been in our bosom: hell, poverty, drugs, poor education, police brutality, incarceration, early death, illnesses, drug addiction. He said, so I'm going to recompense it in their bosom. All those things, I'm going to put them in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. The Lord is the one that said it. So brothers and sisters, man, be strong in this time, knowing that this is the Lord stepping into this kingdom, man. You know what I mean? Watch over yourself, protect yourself, watch over yourself. Don't be caught up in them. You're going to see massive separation between them and us coming after this. You're going to see a massive amount of brothers and sisters starting their own businesses because of this, because they're not going to be able to crunch down on the people and control everything. Think back for years, man. Big corporations wiped out all the hardware stores, all the mom and pop stores, all the little businesses that you normally would be able to have and take care of you and your family. They came down and crushed them all. And when they made so much money that they couldn't sit over them no more, they wasn't worth sitting over them, they brought in the heathens, man, and said, y'all come and sit over them, and we'll just take the resources from your country, but you'll be all right. We'll put you over to our slaves. You'll get rich. You'll do their nails. You'll sell them chicken. You'll do all these things. You'll be their doctor and their dentist. You understand? You'll be all those things. You'll make money off of them. And that's how the earth was structured, man, in these later days. But the Most High is coming to switch that structure. He's coming to shake that structure up. Don't be mad with us about it. We just telling you what the Lord told us to tell you. You got to be upset with him. We reading the prophecies. The God in this Bible is not the God in your church. If you for the Lord, you better look up the Lord in the Bible, because it is not the guy that you seeing in church or that you promoting and pushing in church every Sunday. That's another God. And it's a false reality to think that God is one God. He just got different names. No, that's not the case. That's why he told Moses what his name was, because he ain't the gods of these other nations, man. He ain't the gods that you just decide he's the God of. You don't just make up his name, just like nobody don't make up your name. Somebody calling you out your name, you don't like it. Guess what? You can't try to put your God on him. He's separate. He's the God of the Bible. His name is Yahweh. And his chosen is very important to him. The 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, man. Y'all stay strong. Keep your spirit up. I'll see y'all next time. Shalom. I want you to stay strong in the spirit of the Lord. Hey, listen, if you like this tape, hit the like button and share it, man. Hit the share button. Everybody share it to their own personal Facebook accounts. Share this video, man, to wake up brothers and sisters all over this earth. Hit the like button. Check me out Monday night. I'm live every Monday night. I bring the heavy hitters in. We do it up live right on this same channel. I'll see you then, Israel. Y'all take care. Shalom.